Hello friends, I am Arpit and I'm here with today's analysis. Today is 17th of September and we're going to deal with three very important topics. Out of these three, two are in news and one is the thematic discussions which we have started. So the first topic is Indus-X Summit. This is basically a summit between India and USA, and on this platform, the defense startups, the governments, they meet and they discuss about innovations, collaborations in doing innovations, joint manufacturing of defense equipments. This was started in 2023 with the Prime Minister's state visit to USA. Now it is the third edition which has happened. It clearly, reminds us of the deepening defense ties between India and USA. Next is Nipah virus. Kerala is on high alert. Malappuram, a place where Nipah was found earlier also and now also, unfortunately, two people have died. And due to these deaths, the masks are back. This virus is a zoonotic virus, means it comes from animals to humans, but it can be transferred from humans to humans. Symptoms are fever, rash, even a person can slip into coma, confusion, and can lead to death as well. So it is dangerous. And then SDG 7 is ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. So we'll be talking about this. We'll obviously we will be talking about India's, I would say, situation with respect to this particular SDG, where India is placed, and all the steps taken by India to fulfill this SDG 7 by 2030. And then obviously the MCQs. The first, Indus-X Summit. Indus-X, basically the full form is India-US Defense Acceleration Ecosystem. This took place September 9-10th, 2024 in California. It is basically marking a significant progress in defense innovation between India and USA. USA is India's second largest defense supplier, largest being Russia. USA, no doubt about the fact, is a very important defense partner of India because the defense technologies which USA has developed, I am pretty sure that no country in the world has that. They have the highest expenditure on defense research and development. That is so substantial. It was organized jointly by US India Strategic Partnership Forum, USISPF, and Stanford University. So this was the third edition. It started in 2023. So Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, the key highlights was an MOU was signed. The key outcome of the summit was the signing of an MOU between Innovations for Defense Excellence, IDEX, and Defense Innovation Unit from the US Department of Defense. This agreement aims to boost cooperation in defense innovation and promote partnerships among industry, research, and investment stakeholders. So Indus-X is a platform which collaborates researchers, defense researchers from both these countries, collaborates startups which are into defense research and defense development also. So co-research and co-development platform this is. We can understand it in this way. New initiatives. The summit announced a new change under the Indus-X initiative, released the Indus-X impact report, and launched the official Indus-X web page on both IDEX and DIU websites. So IDEX is basically an I would say initiative under the Ministry of Defense, and DIU is Defense Innovation Unit of the Americans, USA. So IDEX, it is Defense Innovation Organization. It is under this, and Innovation Organization is under Ministry of Defense, Government of India, and DIU is under the Government of USA, the Defense Department. A platform for innovation it is. The summit provided a platform for showcasing next generation technologies developed by startups and small to medium sized enterprises. It also facilitated important discussions through senior advisory group and senior leaders forum. The key topics included future technology trends, startup capacity building, funding opportunities for defense innovations, and strengthening defense supply chains. Participation, who participated? The Indian delegation was led by Joint Secretary Defense Industries Promotion, Shri Amit Satija. He highlighted that the summit reinforced the commitment to both countries to advancing defense technology through innovation and strategic collaboration. Attendees, it saw participation from experts in the defense industry, investment firms, startups, academia, think tanks, accelerators, and policymakers from both the nations. So, when we are collaborating with US, obviously the world's most powerful country as of now, on defense innovation and development. So this Indus-X platform is a testament to the fact that the strategic partnership between India and USA is deepening and deepening. A few weeks ago, we saw two agreements being signed between India and USA. One was basically security of supplies agreement, SOSA, and another was an intelligence sharing agreement in which a liaison officer would be deployed in California in USA by India, so that intelligence gathering and sharing is done by that person from USA to India. And now the third meeting of this. So the defense relations with USA are deepening, growing. About Indus-X. So before knowing about Indus-X, we should know about IDEX. IDEX is basically that organization from India which is representing India in Indus-X. Innovations for Defense Excellence, IDEX, is a flagship program of the Ministry of Defense. It was launched in 2023 during the state visit of Prime Minister of India to the US. It aims to promote innovation in defense and aerospace sectors by partnering with startups, innovators, small and medium enterprises, incubators, and academic institutions. IDEX provides grants and supports for research and development projects with high potential for future adoption and Indian defense and aerospace. Funding, IDEX is managed by Defense Innovation Organization. So, IDEX is managed by Defense Innovation Organization. This Defense Innovation Organization is under Ministry of Defense, Government of India. And this is a non-profit company, IDEX, DIO is a non-profit company established under the Companies Act 2013. It is funded by defense public sector undertakings such as Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and Bharat Electricals Limited. The second piece of news is about Nipah virus. Now, this is not the first time this Nipah virus has come into India. It has come earlier also. Last September only there were cases in Kerala only. This September also in Kerala. And unfortunately, two people have died. The curbs in Mallapuram. Mallapuram is that area where this virus was present last year also and now also. After Nipah deaths, 126 primary contacts have been quarantined. Wearing masks have been made mandatory in the district. 5 wards in Tiruvali, Mampad Panchayats are declared containment zones. Educational institutes and cinema halls will remain closed. So just like COVID, the situation is because COVID was able to get transferred from humans to humans. So is Nipah. But how it is transmitted to humans? It is transmitted to humans from animals. That is why it is a zoonotic virus. It is called as a zoonotic virus. Which animals? Transmitted from animals such as bats, pigs, or some like to humans. The bats, though, they've made humans survival very difficult. COVID is also believed to be coming from bats. This also is believed to be coming from bats. So apart from bats, pigs and all, cattle and all is also there. Is human to human spread possible? Yes, human to human spread is possible. That is why containment zones, cinema halls have been closed, educational institutes have been closed. An infected person can be asymptomatic. This is very dangerous, but can be a carrier of Nipah. Carrier of Nipah means that person can spread Nipah from himself or herself to other people. Symptoms and prevention. Symptoms. The human infection presents an encephalitic syndrome marked by fever, headache, drowsiness, disorientation, mental confusion, coma, and potentially death. So, all these are basically the symptoms. Prevention. Currently, there are no vaccines for both humans and animals. Intensive supportive care is given to humans infected by Nipah virus. Symptoms are treated. It is simply like this. No medicine, no vaccine. And, if it does not get treated on time, then obviously it can lead to death. And now the third, that is SDG 7. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. So we need to first understand this, that this is not only about clean energy or renewable energy or sustainable energy. There are many places in the world where there is no electricity at all. They are living in darkness. So, we need to supply electricity over there, preferably renewable energy, because we are living in these times of climate change or global warming. But yes, supplying them with electricity is the priority. And that is how we need to approach this goal. So, if I talk about this goal, it aims to ensure access to clean, affordable, reliable, and modern energy for all. Presently, 675 million people still live in the dark. 4 in 5 of them are in sub-Saharan Africa. So sub-Saharan Africa is basically very much deprived of these things. Sub-Saharan means below the Sahara Desert. If current trends continue, 1 in 4 people will still use unsafe and inefficient cooking systems by 2030. Like they're burning wood or they're burning coal for cooking. And this leads to a lot of indoor pollution. Indoor pollution leads to a lot of respiratory diseases among women, and it is also the primary reason for infant mortality rate. Infants die due to that. So obviously clean cooking fuel is needed. India has launched Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana for that. Then energy efficiency improvement must more than double its pace if we need to achieve its goal. International public financing for clean energy for developing countries continues to decline. So funding for developing countries for adopting clean energy is declining. What is India doing? India had started that International Solar Alliance. Isn't it working? It is, but yes, it is having more around 100 members or more than 100 now. But yes, things will start to materialize in from that grouping. The challenge is that all the countries or most of the countries which are part of it are developing and underdeveloped. So this organization definitely will be dependent upon other funding sources like banks and all. So let us see what happens. Energy is critical for development of various sectors like agriculture, we need electricity, businesses, we need electricity, communications, education, healthcare, and transportation. So obviously we need energy. And when we are talking about energy, so energy is not only electricity, it is basically the cooking fuel, that is also part of it. And I would say electricity generation is also definitely part of it. Now, talking about the goals in this SDG 7. By 2030, ensure universal access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy services. By 2030, substantially increase the share of renewable energy in the global energy mix. Third is by 2030, double the global rate of improvement in energy efficiency. So we're talking about energy efficiency, means less consumption, more, I would say, output. Increase the share of renewable energy in the global energy mix. Renewable energy is solar, wind, tidal, like this. Universal access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy services. By 2030, enhance international cooperation to facilitate access to clean energy. But this, as we saw, that funding to the developing countries is reducing. Research and technology, including renewable energy, energy efficiency, and cleaner fossil fuel technology. By 2030, expand infrastructure and upgrade technology for modern and sustainable energy services, especially in developing countries. Technology and infrastructure means electricity distribution infrastructure, electricity generation infrastructure. This meters and all are also part of it. So all these are the goals under SDG 7. The current situation. From 2015 to 2021, the proportion of global population with access to electricity increased from 87% to 91%. Means still 9% of the people are not having access to electricity. They are still living in the dark. Despite this, around 660 million people still lack access to electricity. Energy and climate change. Energy consumption is the largest contributor to climate change, responsible for approximately 60% of global greenhouse gas emissions. That needs to be taken care of. And if not taken care of, we don't know what will happen. Challenges and need with respect to this goal. Access to electricity. Current figures, 733 million people worldwide lack access to electricity. Access improved from 73% in 1998 to 90% in 2020, but still 675 million people, primarily in least developed countries and sub-Saharan Africa remain without electricity. Future needs to achieve universal electricity access by 2030, an estimated annual investment of 35 to 40 billion dollars is needed. Where will this investment come from? Obviously, the developed world. The developing world and the underdeveloped world does not have this much money. It is as clear as that. And it should be the responsibility of the developed world to do it. Clean cooking solutions. Current figures, approximately 2.3 billion people use unsafe and polluting fuels for cooking. As of 2021, 71% of the global population had access to clean cooking technologies, up from 64% in 2015. So there is a progress, 64% to 71%. But yes, still 29% of the people do not have access to clean cooking fuels, which is leading to a lot of diseases among the females and the children as well. Sub-Saharan Africa, with a population of 0.9 billion, faces the greatest challenge with respect to the access to clean cooking fuel. Renewable energy. Renewable sources currently account for nearly 30% of energy consumption in the electricity sector. In India, it is somewhere around 39% if I talk about it. However, challenges remain in the heating and transport sectors, where we are using diesel or petrol more. EVs are gaining, popularity. But yes, we also need to make sure that the electricity being used to charge the EVs is generated by renewable energy. Then only EVs will be, successful. The purpose of EVs or introducing EVs would be actually met then only. Developing countries experience a 9.6 annual growth in renewable energy installations. That is commendable. But international financial flows for clean energy are declining. This is a paradox. The growth is there of adopting renewable energy, but the financing is dropping. The financing which is coming from the developed countries to the developing countries is dropping. So this simply means that the renewables in the developing and underdeveloped world, are they self-financed? Yes. The developing world is taking this lead in self-financing it, where they should not be, or where the developed world should be taking the lead. I would not say that they should not be, but the developed world would be taking or should be taking the lead. Energy efficiency, global trends. Improving energy efficiency is essential for reducing overall energy consumption and emissions. Global efforts must double the rate of improvement in energy efficiency by 2030. Why this goal matters? This goal matters because this goal has a substantial economic and social impact. It will lead to definitely a better world, a healthy world, a less polluted world, and more economic driven world, because energy, access to energy obviously is very much important for socio-economic development. Environmental impact, as I told you, a much cleaner world it will be, because we are focusing upon modern, I would say, energy sources, or I would say cleaner energy sources. Human development, access to electricity affects daily life and opportunities. For instance, women and girls often spend hours fetching water, clinics struggle to store vaccines, and students may lack proper study conditions. So, all these will be met by availability of energy to them. Availability of energy means availability of power, or, I would say clean cooking fuel and all to them. Now, SDG 7 in India. So, if I talk about it, access to electricity, 100% households now have access to electricity. The government launched Saubhagya scheme for this. Households having clean cooking fuel, 96.35% of the households have now access to the clean cooking fuel. Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, where more than 10 crore families have, or 10 crore beneficiaries are there of this particular scheme. Extra subsidies also given to the eligible beneficiaries. And then India's energy consumption or energy production is increasing, and the best part is the portion of non-fossil fuels. Non-fossil fuels includes renewable energy, it includes nuclear energy, it includes hydropower as well. India is currently producing somewhere around 43 to 47, 43 to 45% from non-fossil based fuels. And India has pledged in its first climate goals that India will be generating 40% of its electricity from non-fossil fuels by 2030, which India already achieved by 2021-22. Now India has pledged 50% by 2030. And we are on that path. We will be, making electricity or generating electricity from non-fossil based fuels by 50% or more than that by 2030. That is India's progress over here. So the key indicators, household electrification, we have achieved 100% electrification through the Pradhan Mantri Sahaj Bijli Har Ghar Yojana, which is called as the Saubhagya scheme. Clean cooking fuel, LPG and PNG connections have been distributed. This has been done under the PM Ujjwala scheme. More than 10 crore beneficiaries are there. To be specific, 10.75 crore beneficiaries are there. Range 50 to 100 for states, 52 to 100 for UTs. Goal 7 index score I'm talking about. Categories. Achievers, there are 16 states, 6 UTs with a score of 100. Front runners, 10 states and 1 UT with a score between 65 and 100, excluding 100. So it is like this. So this is how it looks like. Score 96. Achiever states, the names are mentioned over here. Front runners, the names are mentioned over here. Performer states, Meghalaya, and here Nagaland we have. So it is like this. So these blue ones are the achiever states. The green ones are the front runners, and yellow ones are the performer states. Highlights: household electrification, Pradhan Mantri Sahaj Bijli Har Ghar Yojana, Saubhagya. Achievement 100%, already told you, reported in 2021-22. Global target aligns with SDG 7.1 to ensure universal access to energy services. We've seen that. Clean cooking fuel, LPG connections 32.42 million, PNG connections 1.29 millions. Achievements: 16 states and 6 UTs reached 100% target for clean cooking fuel connections. PNG is piped natural gas, which comes through pipes to our homes directly. Initiatives undertaken. Indian government has implemented multiple schemes to meet the targets of the 7th goal. Renewable energy, National Solar Mission is there. Mission aims to promote solar energy generation and reduce dependence on fossil fuels. National Wind Energy Mission focuses on expanding wind energy capacity. National Biofuels Policy, in which government aims to blend 20% of petrol with ethanol by 2025 and 5% of diesel with biodiesel. And this will reduce definitely the dependency on imports. Emissions will be cleaner from this blended fuel, and efficiency of the BS6 vehicles will also improve from this National Biofuels Policy. Rural electrification, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana aims to provide electricity to all in rural households. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Urja Suraksha and Samriddhi Yojana Kusum encourages farmers to install solar pumps and grid connected solar power plants. Pradhan Mantri Sahaj Bijli Har Ghar Yojana Saubhagya scheme aims to provide electricity connections to all households in India, including those in rural areas. Ujala Unnat Jyoti by affordable LEDs for all. This program has replaced inefficient incandescent bulbs with LED bulbs. So we are talking about electricity efficiency also, or energy efficiency also. This is a classic example of energy efficiency since LEDs consume less electricity. Talking about international cooperation, so International Solar Alliance is there. India is a founding member of ISA, which aims to promote solar energy cooperation among developing countries. So it is like this. Now coming to the MCQs, consider the following statements with respect to Indus-X and mark the correct one. It was formed in 2022 with 2024 having its 3rd edition hosted in USA. Indus-X is about collaboration for defense innovation. So which of these statements are correct? Carefully answer this. Which of the following organization manages innovations for defense excellence, that is IDEX? Defense Innovation Unit, Defense Secretary USA, DRDO, Defense Innovation Organization. Consider the following statements with respect to Nipah virus and mark the correct one. First is Nipah virus cannot be transmitted from human to human. Nipah is a zoonotic virus. Relatively easy question, but yes, an important one. Fourth, consider the following statements and mark how many of them are correct. Nipah virus can be asymptomatic. Nipah virus can lead to mental illness. For Nipah virus in animals, there is a vaccine available, but not for humans. Only one statement is correct. Two statements are correct. All the statements are correct, or none of the statements are correct. Last question, which of the following schemes aims at electrification of houses? PM Sahaj Bijli Har Ghar Yojana, PM Ujjwala Yojana, PM Suryodaya Yojana, Ujala Yojana. Now, considering or discussing the MCQs of yesterday, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. The Jan Arogya Yojana provides an insurance cover of 5 lakh rupees per family per annum for primary, secondary and tertiary healthcare needs. This statement is wrong because it does not provide for primary, it provides for secondary and tertiary. Hence, this statement is wrong. Health and wellness centers aim to cater to primary healthcare. This title now it is correct. Needs including rolling out of Government of India's, you know, universal immunization program. This is also correct. So only 2 is going to be the correct answer to this question. Second question, consider the following statements and mark how many of them are correct. First is Ayushman Bharat is extended to all the elderly population above 70 years of age in the country. This statement is absolutely correct to all irrespective of their income levels. If the individual above 70 years of age is having a private insurance, then that individual will not be eligible for the benefits under Ayushman Bharat. No, this statement is wrong. He will be eligible. If the person is having access to other public healthcare insurance like CGHS and all, then it becomes, this or that. In case of a private insurance, both can be availed. India's old age population is increasing and is the second highest in the world currently. Yes, it is increasing and it is the second highest after China. So this statement is also right. So only 2 statements are correct is going to be the right option. Third, who has the ultimate authority to change the name of a city in any state of India? When we talk about state of India, so it is basically the state government. Urban local bodies will, pass the recommendation to the state government, and it will be ultimately the state government which decides the change of name has to be done or not. Government of India does not have a role in the states. Yes, in duties it has a role. Which of the following is correctly matched? Ross Island, Swaraj Deep. This is wrong. Ross Island has been named as Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Dweep. Neil Island, Shahid Dweep. This is right. So, this is going to be the correct option over here. Consider the following statements and mark the correct one. Jal Jeevan Mission aims at supplying fresh water in homes in rural areas only. Yes, rural areas only is correct. It is for rural areas. For urban areas, it is the, I would say, Amrut Mission. Availability of clean water can lead to increase in household savings. Yes, women who go to fetch water spend half of the day. They are not able to work. If they are not able to work, they are not able to save as well. So definitely their earnings will contribute in family savings. This statement is correct. So only 2 is the correct one. So with this, we've come to an end of today's session. I will be seeing you tomorrow now with more such informative news pieces. There can be some changes also in the SDG theme because we are not able to cover many current events. So what we can do is we can, I would say, take it on alternate days. So tomorrow we'll be giving a break for the themes. Day after tomorrow, I will be picking up SDG 8. In this way, one day gap, we will be covering the themes. You will also get time to revise whatever we have done till now because there's no point running. So we're deciding or we're thinking on these lines. So for tomorrow, we'll take a break from themes. We'll be covering the current events. Day after tomorrow, I'll be picking up SDG 8. Then after that break, let's see how this works. And there's a lot of data to gather also. So we'll also come in a much better and composite way to you. Okay. So with this, I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste. Jai Hind.